Math 1030 exam number 2 study guide. So let's talk about this next test, which is going to be rather boring because it's all going to be on factoring. So if we look at the first one, typical AC method, what multiplies to make 10 adds to make 7. Now it's multivariable, which just means we'll have x's and y's. 5 and 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7. And we're done. Question 2 is a typical difference of squares problem. To get 100, that's 10 and 10, m, plus and minus. 9 is 3 and 3, n. Now for 3, typical AC method, what multiplies to make 30 adds to make 13. 10 and 3. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 plus 3 is 13. We're done with the problem. Now question 4 has a leading coefficient of 3. So what we'll do is multiply 3 and 15. We're going to say, okay, what multiplies to make 3 times 5 is 15. What adds to make 16? And clearly that's 15 and 1. Now what we'll do is we'll split the middle term. We'll say 3y squared plus y plus 15y plus 5. Then we'll use factor by grouping. Now remember, the order of these two terms doesn't matter. If you reverse them, you'll get the same answer. Y times 3y plus 1 plus 5 times 3y plus 1. 3y plus 1 is the same. Factor it out. Y plus 5 is left over. Same thing for question 5. We're going to do 8 times 3. What times what makes 24 adds to make 14. That'll be 12 and 2. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 and 2 make 14. 8c squared, there's an error there. This needs to be c, not x. Plus 12c plus 2c plus 3. Here I'm going to take out 4c, leaving 2c plus 3. Now it may seem like we can't take anything out of here, so what we factor out is a cosmetic 1. We say plus 1 times 2c plus 3. 2c plus 3 is the same. Factor it out. We have 4c plus 1. Question 6, fairly straightforward AC method. What multiplies to make negative 72? What adds to make negative 1? Let's see, that'll be 9 and 8. Signs have to be mixed, so that'll be negative 9 and 8. Negative 9 times 8 is negative 72. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. There we go. So this factors into n minus 9, n plus 8. AC method on question 7. 7 times 4 is 28. What times what makes 28 adds to make 14? Let's see. We can do 7 and 4. That will make 14. We can do 2 and 14. No, I'm sorry, this is 16. Then 2 and 14 actually works. 7x squared plus 14x plus 2x plus 4. 7x times x plus 2. Here we'll take out a 2 plus 2 times x plus 2. X plus 2 is the same, leaving 7x plus 2. More of the same on question 8. What multiplies to make 22, adds to make 13. Multiplies to make 22, adds to make 13. 11 and 2, signs are all positive. Factor out 11m, 2m plus 1. Again, seems like nothing comes about, but take out a cosmetic 0. 11m plus 1 times 2m plus 1. Now, question 9 is not a trinomial, but it doesn't mean we can't take out a greatest common factor. I can take out an n and I can take out a squared, leaving minus 3a squared plus 5b. Now, another student might factor out negative 10. That would be fine. That would also be correct. 10's a trinomial, but I want to take out a greatest common factor. Let me take out 3a to the 4th, leaving 5a squared minus 22a minus 8. Got another AC method. 5 times 8 is negative 40. Middle term's negative 22. Don't think that'll factor. 40 will be 2 and 20. Signs don't work. 8 and 5. 4 and 10. Nope, that's as far as we can go. So factoring out the greatest common factor is all we can do there. Question 11, there's 4 terms. Let's factor by grouping, left side, right side. Take out x cubed, leaving x plus 1. Take out an 8, leaving x plus 1, which means this factors into x plus 1, x cubed plus 8. Same thing on question 12. There's 4 terms. Let me take out 10y, leaving 4y plus 5. Take out a negative 2, leaving 4y plus 5. And again, I took out a negative to make sure these signs agree. 4y plus 5 is the same, leaving 10y minus 2. Now, if you look at this, you say, wait, you can take out a 2, and yes, you can. You could call this 2 times 4y plus 5 times 5y minus 2. For question 13, take out a greatest common factor of 5, leaving x to the 4th minus 16, which is difference of squares, x squared plus 4, x squared minus 4. But then look, you can do difference of squares again here, making 5 times x squared plus 4, x minus 2, x plus 2. For question 14, we have to take out a greatest common factor of t to the 10, leaving t squared plus 12t plus 36, which factors into t to the 10th times what multiplies to make 36 adds to make 12. That'll be 6 and 6, which is a perfectly valid solution. Another student might call that t plus 6 squared, and that would also be correct. More of the same. 15 is the typical difference of squares. That'll be h minus 7, h plus 7. For 16, what multiplies to make negative 11 adds to make 1. The only way to multiply to make 11 is 1 and 11, and that'll never make negative 1. So we're trying to factor it, but nothing does, so this one is simply prime. 17, take out a greatest common factor of 8x squared, leaving 2x squared minus 5x plus 11. Let's see what happens there. 2 times 11 is 22. We'll never make negative 5. That's as far as we can go. 18 is the typical difference of squares. That'll be 2 minus c, 2 plus c. 19 is multivariable, but it's still AC method. xy, xy. What multiplies to make 6 adds to make 5. That'll be 2 and 3. 20. What multiplies to make negative 16 adds to make negative 6. That'll be 8 and 2. Signs are -8 and 2. This times this makes this plus this makes this. N minus 8, n plus 2. Now, everything we've done so far has been factoring. Now we're actually going to solve. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure one side's 0, factor it. This one's already factored, so all we need to say is x minus 2 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, which means x equals 2, x equals -5. Question 22 is sort of factored. Let's take out x minus 1, leaving 3x plus 3, which means x minus 1 equals 0, 3x plus 3 equals 0, x equals 1, x equals -3 over 3, which is -1. Now, question 23 is already factored. The mistake students make is they want to say equals 7, but 7 is not a solution here because it does not have a variable. If I say 7 equals 0, well, that doesn't make any sense. N minus 8 equals 0, n plus 9 equals 0, n equals 8, n equals -9. For question 24, factor it. What multiplies to make -8 adds to make -2. Minus 4 plus 2. Y minus 4 equals 0. Y plus 2 equals 0. Y equals 4. Y equals -2. AC method on 25 multiplies to make 6, adds to make 7. That'll be 6 and 1. 2c squared plus c plus 6c plus 3 equals 0. Take out a c, leaving 2c plus 1. Take out a 3, leaving 2c plus 1. 2c plus 1 is the same. C plus 3 equals 0. 2c plus 1 equals 0. C plus 3 equals 0. C equals -1/2. C equals -3. Okay, let's look at some word problems. Length of a rectangular garden is 4 feet greater than the width. The area is 96 square feet. Calculate the dimensions. Start with the picture. Length and width. The length is 4 feet greater than the width. So that means the length is W plus 4. Area is length times width. Area equals, now we know the length is W plus 4 times W, which is W squared plus 4W, equals, now look, we know what the area needs to be, 96. So all we need to do, subtract 96. And now we get an equation we can solve. Multiplies to make 96, adds to make 4. Well, I don't know. Let's do some guess and check in the calculator. 96 divided by 2 doesn't work. 96 by 4 doesn't work. 96 by 16? No. 96 divided by 8. There we go. 8 and 12. W plus 12, W minus 8 to make 4. W equals -12, W equals 8. Now be careful here. There's only one answer. The width can't be negative. Therefore, the width is 8. The directions say calculate the dimensions, length and width. We've got the width, find the length. Length equals W plus 4 equals 8 plus 4, which is 12. And then we're done. Same kind of principle for question 27. We're doing the area of a triangle. Triangle has base and height. Triangle has a height that is 1 inch less than twice the base. The height is 1 inch less than twice the base. So that's 2b minus 1. Use the area formula. 1/2 base and height. Area equals 1/2. Base is b. Height is 2b minus 1. Now the area, they say, is 60, so we know what that is. 60 equals 1/2 b times 2b minus 1. I don't like that 1/2. Let me multiply both sides by 2. 120 equals, distribute the b, 2b squared minus 1, which means 2b squared minus 1, b, minus 120 equals 0. So here we have 2 times negative 120, be negative 240. Now, if the difference is negative 1, it means these numbers are relatively close together. So if I take 240 divided by 10, it's not enough. 240 divided by 20. Something's not right here. There we go, 15 and 16. 2b squared minus 16b plus 15b minus 120 equals 0. 2b times b minus 8 plus 15 times b minus 8 equals 0. B minus 8 times 2b plus 15 equals 0. B equals 8. B equals negative 15 over 2. Now again, can't have a negative dimension, so the base is equal to 8. Find the dimensions. The base is 8, height equals 2b minus 8, which is 2 times 8 minus 1 is 16 minus 1 is 15. And there we go. Now the next word problem is dealing with projectile motion, but it's just something we'll do a little bit of in this class. Here's the path of motion, h, t's, and seconds. How long will the rocket remain in the air before hitting the ground? Sure. All we need to know is that if it's on the ground, the height is 0. So we're going to solve negative 16t squared plus 80t plus 96 equals 0. Now you could try to factor that, but what I think I'll do is divide everything by negative 16, which we're allowed to do because it's an equation. Now look at this nice, easy equation that we get. Factor that. T minus 6, t plus 1 equals 0. T equals 6, t equals negative 1. Now in this problem in particular, negative time doesn't make sense. So the time is equal to 6. Very similar question on 29. How long until the flare hits the water? Again, height equals 0. So that's negative 16 t squared plus 104 t plus 56. Now this time, I don't think we can divide that evenly. We can divide everything by 8, I think. Yeah. Divide everything by negative 8. 2t squared minus 15t minus 7. Now we have something to factor, so we'll use the AC method. So we have 2 times the negative 7 makes negative 14. What times what makes negative 14 adds to make negative 15. 14 and 1 Something's not right there. $16. 13. 104 divided by 8 is not 15, it's 13, which makes this doable. Signs are negative 14 plus 1. There we go. 2t squared plus t minus 14t minus 7. Factor out a t, that's 2t plus 1. Factor out a negative 7, that's 2t plus 1. 2t plus 1, t minus 7 equals 0. T equals negative 1/2. T equals 7. Again, in this case, we can't have a negative time, so the answer is 7 seconds. Okay, final question. You're observing a chemical reaction. Temperature is this. How long until the solution reaches a temperature of 80 degrees? Sure. All we'll do is plug in 80 for T. 10m squared minus 20m equals 80. Now we can simplify everything by dividing everything by 10. M squared minus 2m equals 8. M squared minus 2m minus 8 equals 0, which factors quite nicely. That's m minus 4, m plus 2, m equals 4, m equals negative 2. Now, in this case, a time of negative 2 minutes does not make sense. The only solution is 4.